A while back, Randy and I made some very big, very bold, very exciting predictions about MegaPack, and you, clever robots, had a whole lot to say about it. Some of them rose to the level of deserving a response in this kind of format. So let's just talk about those. I'm Brian. Welcome to My Tesla Weekend. Randy, good to see you again.
Always lovely to be here.
For those who don't know, Randy Kirk is a best-selling author, a entrepreneur, a businessman, and by some accounts, a pretty nice guy, I guess. But I mean, I haven't I haven't fact-checked that.
But call my mom. She's good.
Is your mother still alive?
Yes, 97.
Wow.
Just had her 97th birthday.
Wow, I am a late model orphan, I guess. Yeah. So Jude says, I've been thinking for some time, we're discussing comments on MegaPacks, on the stability side of storage also, and that a half-size pack or even a full-size pack would be incorporated into standard substations. A VPP is by its nature dispersed. So he's saying that could these MegaPacks just be at every substation as a stopgap?
Yeah, I think that is a definitely part of my vision. I'm thinking that there will eventually be at least one other size between the two, between the wall unit and the MegaPack unit. I think there'll be something in between. I think it will potentially be used not just for the application he's talking about, but for smaller factories, where it would not be, you wouldn't want to put in 5 or 10 of the power walls. It would be better to have some kind of a medium-sized unit that might sit outside. So I think that there is a purpose and a reason that could be utilized by something in between. And I do think that there will be what we call a distributed system. I know Elon has talked about a distributed system. So let's say I'm in a subdivision. I think there's 100 homes in the subdivision that I'm in. And those 100 homes, if they all had power walls, it might be nice to have a smaller unit, maybe something that cost a couple of $100,000, that would sit amongst these 100 homes and would be the backup for our power walls. And that would be attached to the grid. None of us would be.
So Keith had said, I can't wait to see the full-on scaled-out profit margins for the MegaPack, to which fan of the show, regular contributor for some reason, Mega Wilderness said, it's a big box of CATL battery cells. Shouldn't you invest in the lion's share of the profits? Let's say maybe CATL, which sells complete grid storage systems back in China, along with BYD. So Randy, I mean, they're just buying the cells from somebody else. Why don't I just invest in them?
Well, I guess the question is never whether the product is the right product, is the number 1 product, number 2 product, number 5 product. What you're investing in is the company's management, the company's vision, the company's approach to business. So that's why I invest in Elon. Yeah, do I think a Model 3, do I have a Model Y for my wife because we both think it's the most impressive car that's ever been built? Yes, that's why we have it. But I didn't have to invest in writing 2 books about Elon Musk and putting together a YouTube channel because of that product. I do all of that because I think Elon Musk has this vision for the future. He has a vision about the product line. He has a vision about how it fits into the overall economy. He has a vision about how it's going to change. He's thinking 3 years out, 4 years out. This is the one thing I've never been able to do. On the chessboard, I'm lucky if I can think 2 moves out. I know Elon's 4, and I know this about myself. So this is one of his big advantages over everybody else. Whatever is going to be needed for that MegaPack 2 years from now that is not already there, he's got the engineers already working on it. My uncle worked for IBM, and he was an engineer for IBM, major big-time engineer. And I was talking to him one time, I said, so tell me about the process of new ideas. He says, number 5 out there is where the inventors are working now in the lab. Number 4 is in engineering. Number 3 is on some pilot line somewhere. Number 2 is getting ready for production, and number 1 is what you see.
Well, I'm going to pull you back in on this. I'm going to take his side real quick, and only this once, because I think we've got an answer here. No, this individual is. Love you, Mega Wilderness. Tone it down once in a while. This was a decent one. That's why it gets attention. Why would a customer purchase the CATL cells from Tesla when CATL is making their own comparable MegaPack product? Wouldn't that one be cheaper and just as good? Why would I pay more to get a Tesla MegaPack?
Yeah, so the reason you'd pay more probably is because Tesla has got the better software, maybe the better overall service, the overall experience, and is going to be giving you over-the-air updates as they improve it.
And that is the advantage. The software is the key. If Tesla's software is 1% better, that's millions of dollars over the life of the product. That's a 1% there are Chinese manufacturers that make jets, that make passenger aircraft. The reason you don't see them outside of China is because even though they look the same, they're not as fuel efficient. And that little bit of fuel savings makes the jet worthless. You would not buy it because the fuel cost alone will cost you more than the jet itself.
Right.
And that's the difference. CATL, I'm sure, has very good engineers, very good software, very smart people, but they don't have the same ones. They don't have the depth, the breadth of experience and expertise that we see from
And
Tesla.
one more nuance on this subject. I believe that CATL will sell every one they can make in China, in Indonesia, in the Southeast Asia area, maybe even some into Australia and compete with Tesla down there. But they probably won't sell 15 in the United States because by the time you ship it from China to the United States, you've probably lost all your cost advantage.
Well, that's a tough call. But you're right. We're talking 50 to 80,000 pounds,
right,
and it's got a ways to go. I don't know. That's harder to say. Tesla has been shipping theirs around the world successfully.
Well,
we
but
shall
right
see.
now you've got an unlimited TAM.
That's
the other
true.
thing. You've got an unlimited TAM. Probably you're going to sell it wherever your salesman. Send in a great salesman, and you might sell it in any place that you wouldn't otherwise sell it.
Have you met Bob? He could sell ketchup popsicles to a woman in white gloves. Musk, so Kev says, oh yeah, you're not familiar with that one?
That's good. I hadn't heard that.
He could sell a ketchup popsicle to a woman in white gloves.
Ketchup popsicle?
Yeah.
Kev says, Musk at the last earnings call said MegaPacks are more like vehicles in terms of margins, so 20%, not the 40% that you and I had said. Musk further said he was talking power produced on an annual basis when talking packs exceeding vehicles. So he wasn't saying we're going to make more money from the MegaPacks. He's saying we're going to produce more gigawatt hours for MegaPacks than we are for cars. With that said, we have seen battery material costs dropping. That could help with margins. So do you want to rethink that 40% margin you and I had discussed in the initial video?
So the reporting was really strong. I mean, I was pretty impressed by what Zero Sum 30 and 33 or whatever, I forget his handle now, and Ferguson and others, were reporting on Twitter. I mean, that was some pretty in-depth reporting in terms of actually seeing the codes, inside their website, actually taking the raw materials bit by bit and building it up. So I was pretty impressed with the reporting, and so I am still leaning a little bit towards thinking that it might be more like 40%. But I also know that if I was the manufacturer, I don't want to tell the utility that I got 40% margins.
Well,
that's just going to give them a hammer when I'm making my presentation, trying to beat me back down again. But if Elon says they're going to be happy with 30% margins, so am I. I'm thrilled with 30% margins on a $2 million product.
The fun thing is people are saying, well, 40% is crazy, but we're already at 20. The price is not going down, and all of the costs are. So to me, that's pretty good. Mark says, how about schools? The energy profile fits the duck curve. Arbitrage provides funding. Could schools get a MegaPack?
Oh, absolutely. Again,
Yeah, why not?
Schools, government buildings, military installations, factories, malls. Yeah, I mean, we had that expert on, I forget whose channel she was on. She was they were a consulting company that does energy storage and solar energy consulting worldwide. And she gave the list of all the places these MegaPacks can go or should go. And the list is long. I think I mentioned that in our factory, which is only 25,000 square feet, I looked into solar 30 years ago when solar was way more expensive than it is now, and it was almost where it would have made sense. But
Wow.
you add power walls or a small MegaPack, it would be totally worth it to a manufacturer today.
So there was, in the comments on this video, if you guys haven't watched it, go back and watch it and go look at the comments and interact with them, because there's some really good ones in there. People listing use after use after use for what it would be good for. One that I did see that was critical that I could have brought up was, someone said, well, the packs will only provide enough power for, this many hours or whatever, so a hospital couldn't replace their generators with it. And I said, no, you misunderstand. This doesn't replace the generators. It replaces the lead acid battery packs. The lead acid battery packs, you have to replace those every 2 to 3 years. Walls and walls of $1,000 batteries being swapped out every 2-3 years. This goes in once and stays there. And by the way, if it's just going to sit there, let it arbitrage power during the day. The grid will be happy to do that, give you a little bit of margin. And these are LFP batteries, so the cycle life is exceptional. They will absolutely last 20 years, even going 0 to 100%, which you wouldn't do. Just assign maybe the top 20% for arbitrage, and nobody else is making money on their backup systems. That's crazy.
Yeah.
And if we get hundreds of these out, thousands of these out, the grid gets stable in a hurry. So that's another gentleman had said, oh, well, this is going to take it'll be a $1 industry, but it's going to take 10 years. And I said, so in 10 years, this is an extra trillion in market. I'm glad we agree, my friend. I am so thank you. Worst case scenario, man. I think this is the last one. Yeah, good. We did perfect on time. This gentleman, who's a subscriber, says, please stop feeding the FUD. No, you are creating a pendulum by exaggerating. They pull it to one direction with their lies, worsening the true status, and you pull it the other way, promoting a scene that neither Elon or Tesla will try to achieve, 40%. That would be against Tesla's mission statement and Master Plan Part 3. Tesla stock will become stable only when the pendulum swing is minimized or at best stopped. Truth matters. Do you think we're exaggerating?
Well, I know I'm an optimist, but you call yourself an analyst, not a Tesla fanboy. I am a Tesla fanboy, and I have an actual plaque where I'm Optimist of the Decade. This is something that was handed to me by my Optimist Club when I belonged to the Optimist organization. And so, yeah, I'm an optimist, but I am also an analyst that tends to be optimistic. I did not come up with the 40% myself. That was on the reporting that we just discussed. I would be thrilled with 25%. I would be thrilled with 20% on a $2 million product. So if it ends up being 30%, great. But I don't think that we do anything to the stock when we say it's going to be 40%. I don't think it changes it one whit. I think the stock is driven by all the things that stocks have been driven with in all history. And right now that is the macro. And so until the macro switches back to risk on, it doesn't matter if all of us came out tomorrow and said, no, we all agree the MegaPacks will get 20% margin. If everybody is in 100% agreement, it would not cause the stock to go up or down. Not until that macro changes.
I would say this does fit with Master Plan Part 3. It would not fit if they were artificially keeping the price high and it drove down sales.
Right.
They are supply constrained, high prices during periods of supply constraint means more margin to build more capacity. That, to me, is master plan parts 1 through 3. Yeah, it is all of them. And I am not an optimist like you. I am an optimist subprime. Yeah. Oh, that's the bot I'm thinking of. That's optimist. Okay, never mind. The idea is I don't make up hype, but I get excited when I see crazy numbers like what we saw. And if they're already at 20% and prices are falling, but retail cost is not, that means the margin will increase from 20%. And it will, because the amortized costs of the factory are going to be spread out over more units as the quarters go by. It is going to get bananas. And which reminds me, I need to get bananas. Randy, I do want to thank you for hanging out with us again. It's always wonderful having a chat. And for those of you who can't get enough of Randy and can't get enough of me, you should go check his channel out, because there's a rumor that Randy has been having me on as a guest, I suppose. I'd be curious to find out if that's true. Somebody can maybe tell me in the comments, because there's no way for me to know if I've been on his channel. So for the patrons, I do want to thank you for your support. It's how I'm able to keep going to the store to get bananas. And for everyone else, you can subscribe, you can like the video, you can give it a thumbs down. It makes me just as happy every bit. I don't mind. It's what we do. So for the rest of you, leave comments. What did we miss? What do we misunderstand? Stay tuned, stay juicy, and I can't wait to hear from you clever robots on the next one of these wacky installments.